Hi, this is K-Bar User. So I guess you could call this part 3 of my, I think we'll just call it Prep for the Preps. That's a good one. So this would be part 3, there might be a part 4, I don't know. So the first part of the videos we talked about, are you a prepper or not? The second part of we talked about, prepping for your preps. Are your kids going to be used to the food and did they know how to use the stuff that you prepped with, kerosene lanterns, stuff like that? This part of the video, and I purposely didn't cover it in the first couple of parts. Number 1, what do you prep for tools? Everybody's got to prep for tools. And if you don't, there's a thought for you. Do you have hammers? Do you have nails? Do you have screws? Do you have battery power screw guns? Do you have screwdrivers? Maybe a hand brace. Why might you ask that? Because let's just say something did happen. Okay, let's just say a natural disaster happened. And you need to nail your windows shut to stay safe. Do you have nails? Do you have screws? Do you have a hammer? Do you have drills? Let's say your door, for instance. Some people have electronic locks on their doors. If the power goes out, your door is wide open. Maybe you need to nail a board underneath there. You have some boards in the house? You have some boards to put over your windows. Think about it. First 2 parts of this whole series, I guess it is, I didn't mention the fact of guns purposely. I purposely didn't mention them because of this simple fact. I grew up in the 80s. Anybody that was a survivalist, a prepper, a woodsman, they were all bunched into a category of whack jobs. That's what people thought of them. They thought you were nuts. Now, if you canned and you put up meat for the winter, stuff like that, well, that's what people did. But in the meantime, Rambo had just come out. Everybody's seen, he was a survivalist. He was this, that, and the other thing. And they watched him shoot up, extraordinary things. He could probably bring down a tank with a pea shooter in Rambo movies. So we were all classified as wackos. That's all we wanted to do was go nuts and shoot up the township, take over the country. What? Not true. You had 2 kind of survivalists. You had woodsman survivalists, wood survivalists, whatever you want to call them. And you had combat survivalists. The combat survivalists was the guys who were running around the woods in their full combat gear and trained with teams and stuff like that for the exact same thing we're waiting for now, for the SHTF. And so that group of people, they were all bunched into, basically you were nuts. So that's one of the reasons why the first 2 videos I didn't mention guns. Guns are an important part of anybody's prep. The same way you need water, same way you're going to need food, heat, something to see with. You're also going to need something to defend yourself with. And I'm not saying run out right now and buy an AR, buy an AK, buy 1,000 rounds of ammunition. No. You need something to defend your house with. Just the same way when you go into the woods, you need to carry something to defend yourself with, even if it's just a knife. But you just need to have something to defend yourself with. So, like I said, I'm not saying go out and buy, thousands of rounds of ammunition and thousands of guns and have them stockpiled in the house and everything else. I'm not saying that. You do what you feel is right. If that's what makes you feel secure, then that's right for you, and that's what you need to do. Me, as far as, guns are concerned, I have my weapons. And I will say this. I've watched a lot of prepping channels where people are showing everything they own. This is where I keep my ammo. This is how much I have of it. These are my guns. I appreciate that. I really like seeing the guns. I'm a gun lover and a knife lover, and that I really enjoy seeing that. But on the same instance, you're showing the entire world what you have. So everybody in the neighborhood now knows, hey, let's go to Tom's house. He's got 10,000 rounds of ammunition and a 9mm, a shotgun, and a 30-30 and a 22, and So for those who are showing everything, please don't. You're making yourself a target. For those of us that's doing it right, hey, I appreciate seeing the guns as much as you appreciate seeing mine. You've seen my Heritage Arms. You've seen my 20 gauge Coach gun for Christmas. My 10-22. I've seen a bunch of my 22s and a Mosin that I no longer have. And you've seen a bunch of my guns. But remember, it's like playing poker. You never show the other guy all your cards. And never let them see your hand. Never tip your hand to anybody. As far as everything else is concerned, I'm sure you watch the prepping shows where there's people that have caches. Not a bad idea. At all. Literally, if you're prepping for it's going to hit the fan scenario, unlike me, I'm a natural disaster prepper, I guess you could call it. Unlike me, if you're prepping for it's going to hit the fan, you have to bug out of here. Caches are a good idea. If you know where you're going, you can, hide certain supplies that you can pick up along the way in case you run out. But here's the thing, and this is one thing I've always thought about. Let's just say we're in a it hit the fan scenario. Right here, right now. I get overrun. Okay. What am I taking with me? Grab it and go. Have you ever practiced grab it and go? I have. I've practiced grab it and go. I have a series of videos here that they're called the dump videos, where my wife just dumps me off. And to be honest with you, it was to practice my survival skills. To make sure that when I grabbed the kit and I went, I had the stuff I would need to get through a survival situation had I gotten lost, had my car broke down. Maybe I went off the road in the wintertime, or maybe I went off the road, I swerved to hit a deer, whatever the situation would be. I had gear with me to get me home, to get me through a couple of days to be found. And I would practice with this gear. So, have you practiced with your gear? Do you think about that. Do you practice with your gear? And
sorry.
Interruption by wife. But do you practice with this gear? Do you do anything with it? Or do you just keep it in the house in case you might need it? So, think about that. This is K-Bar User. I want to thank you for your time and your patience. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one.